Hello everyone and welcome to the as of yet untitled indie series, taking a look at some of the brand new games coming out from early access all the way through to full releases. And just a quick apology, I know I'm going to sound like super reverby during this, but unfortunately I've moved pretty much the entirety of my closet to the new house, so I'm really sorry. For the next few weeks this is kind of what I'm going to sound like. Now a little while back, around about the time of the Steam Next Festival, the team over at Songs of Conquest gave a shout out on Twitter for a game I had never heard of. Well, after the briefest of glimpses, I clicked on the button and decided that I definitely needed to play this. Mahokenshi combines three of the greatest styles of game into a single package: turn-based strategy, board gaming, and deck building. And honestly, that would have been enough for me. But for those of you who know me, I live in Japan, so anything even remotely connected to that, I'm gonna check out. And boy was I not disappointed. Now, thankfully, the game does have a pre-alpha release version demo. I don't really know what development stage that is, but it is available for free right now over on Steam, so if you're even remotely interested in this, just go download it and have a play yourself. Well, after playing the demo, I decided to do a little bit more research and find out exactly what this game is all about. The story is set within the floating Celestial Islands, these former tranquil lands now beset by brigands and a mysterious, corrupting evil. It is up to the Mahokenshi, these samurai mage, blessed by their kami, the elemental spirits that grant their strength to those worthy, to set forth into the Celestial Isles, defend its inhabitants, and attempt to reveal the secret behind this corruption that has emerged. The islands themselves are beautiful, and the vibrancy and art style does a lot to immerse you in these board-like floating isles, all interlinking with a variety of terrain and features to control movement and present a pretty unique pace and approach to each mission. But in terms of art, it's the cards that will have you hooked. The artwork is that glorious grim high fantasy that pretty much resulted in the creation of all my favorite decks from Magic the Gathering, but now entirely centralized on Japanese mythology, depicting brave soldiers in the midst of battle, grave defenses, noble sacrifices, and some seriously unique magical offerings. And though I'd love to try and go into some detail about the art, in reality, all the best artwork in the world won't save a card game if the effects don't stack up. Now forgive me as I go a little deck buildery for a moment, but from the runs I've had going back through the demo missions, there are plenty of ways to gather cards to build up your decks quickly and easily. And though the demo is currently restricting to only allowing players to use the Ruby Clan's Ayaka, I was able to develop a mixture of decks based on entirely different styles of play, from OTK Rush to just insane field control where you can basically fly past half the map. The synergies of the current cards available is excellent, and the balance of procuring new cards, upgrading your current, oh yeah, there are upgrades. And oh yes, they are good. Just be prepared to pay a whole lot to get them, but yeah, totally worth it. Your ability to sift through your deck to ensure each turn and every bit of energy is used to its utmost potential really shows that the game team has a solid grasp of the core game concept and have fully solidified the deck building foundations for the rest of the more unique aspects to be built around it. And for anyone who's new to deck building, basically all that means is there are a lot of cards and they work really well together, allowing you to play the game however you like. Though all of this does come with a slight caveat. The cards that you will gain are randomly selected, with the game presenting you 3 cards that you can select one from most treasures or card drops you find on the map. And the marketplace in villages is randomly generated. You are able to refresh it at a cost. This does give you some level of control over how you develop and tailor your deck each run. But realistically, it means you're going to have to be flexible in how you play, and spend time to get to know the various cards available so as to be able to make the most out of whatever cards you find, or accept that you're going to be spending a lot of gold at the market, refreshing stocks and praying away to discard cards to keep your deck at a reasonable amount. For someone who adores deck building and board games, there's plenty to love about Mahokenshi. But if I were to pick out some issues, the random nature of developing your deck is made a little bit annoying if you find yourself having a bad run. Since no cards are carried over from mission to mission, you're going to be rebuilding your deck every single time. Now thankfully a bad run was pretty rare, especially as my mischoices and misplays were probably almost definitely the reason I failed, but the time taken for a TBS game, particularly in this style, is pretty darn long for your failure to seemingly come because of poor draws. You can speed up the AI movement, quite considerably thankfully, but I couldn't find an option to skip my own movement animations. Something that kind of became annoying when flying, as apparently the Tengu really want people to check them wings. But overall, none of this was enough to put me off mixing things up and testing out new decks and really exploring what the game had to offer, even with the ever-present threat of failure looming in the corner. A failure that would be kept at bay by combining the power of your cards with strategic use of the map's terrain. The entirety of each map is composed of hexes ranging from the plain plains to the mighty mountains, each offering their own bonuses and drawbacks, from increasing your attack or defense, or both, to their energy cost to enter. And the terrain's advantages are then best used in combination with your cards. Certain cards will allow you to move essentially for free. A great example is Safe Travels. Costing 1 energy and moving the character 1 hex, on the plains this is useless, but when entering a forest or the mountains this becomes invaluable. For 1 energy, you will be able to move onto a hex that would normally cost you 2 or even 3 energy to do so, and then from this terrain you can activate the bonus effects of your cards to gain even more and further heighten your advantage. The combos are only limited by your own ability, allowing you to move fast, sift through your deck, and dominate the battlefield with nothing more than your sheer strategic brilliance, if this bear does say so themselves. But either way, what is here and now is already shaping up to be a fantastic game, and honestly a very tricky one at that. But let's go ahead and take a look at just what is Mahokenshi. And on an interesting side note, I actually tried to translate the word Mahokenshi from Japanese, and it kept coming up as True Public Health Nurse. I'm not really sure what that's referring to, but I'm guessing you're there to heal everyone, or yeah, it probably has no bearing. We can see from our start screen that each of the houses is based around a different precious stone, with the House of Topaz clearly being the most superior, for catgirls will always defeat ninjas. Unfortunately for now though, we can only play as the House of Ruby, where the youngest of the Mahokenshi Ayaka is blessed by the spirit of the Tengu, winged kami of the mountain. Favoring offense over defense, she is fearless and relentless in her assault. Each of the Mahokenshi is blessed by a different spirit, and each of these spirits will favor a specific style of play, with the characters set to vary from a Ronin, Samurai, Ninja, and Nekomimi. And one of the things you'll definitely notice is that our character model definitely does not reflect the character art. As this is an early alpha, I'm expecting this is going to be changed eventually, though I can say for now the character does look pretty cool, just somewhat a little bit different. So board game, turn-based strategy, and deck builder. And if any of those have piqued your interest, go give this game a check out. The demo's available on Steam, download it for free, give it a go. And of course, if you're interested, hit that wishlist button, it will really help the devs. And if you're feeling like it, give them a little shout out on Twitter from your friendly neighborhood bear. And if you made it this far, thank you a ton for watching. Once more, trying a little something different with this series, so if you do enjoy it, give us a shout on the comments. And of course, if there's anything you didn't like, then once more, give us a heads up. Either way, till next time, peace out.